Good morning. Well, since we are going to be away this weekend, Reggie, I figure I'm going to put out a video. I should probably film at least bits and pieces of it throughout the week, which I normally don't do. But today, it's nice and sunny. I'm going to get some more outdoor stuff done, starting with that. So this is a bit of a mess over here, but this is previous years where we've had a lot of our squash plants growing. Since they don't want to stay in the bed anyways, and this section of the yard really doesn't get used for anything, I'm going to turn this into a basically in-ground. I might put one board up just so that we have like a perimeter to contain it. It makes it a little bit easier to at least cut the grass, because once the pumpkins and stuff start growing, you won't be able to see it anyway, so I might not. All these leaves are the ones that I raked out of the front garden on the weekend, and now I'm going to go into the shop and grab a whole bunch of cardboard. The first thing I technically need to do is kill the grass. When I'm shipping things in the workshop, because they're all kind of different sizes, and instead of having a gazillion different size boxes that we really don't need, we buy sheets 4 by 8 feet, and then we cut them into whatever size we need, fold them up, and then that's our boxes. And that way we don't have to carry around, we don't have to carry on hand lots and lots of different sizes. But it does usually mean there's every now and then a pile of randomly sized cardboard, which we don't really have a use for. And since I need to kill the weeds anyways, I'm going to gather that stuff up, put it down. But before I do that, so this is, if I had the name right, called a green cone. As inventive as that is. And the idea is this gets buried into the ground, and you put that on top, and then that's a cover with a lid, and it's composting in place system. The nice thing is that because of the way it worm composts in place, the idea is you're supposed to plant it in the middle of a garden, as you can see, the middle of our soon-to-be pumpkin patch. Somehow, I had to read it, but somehow in the way that this composts, you can actually compost meat in this, and fats and different things like that, so it's not just a vegetable compost. My sister-in-law got one at her new place, and when we were over there one time, she was showing it to us, and I asked for one for Christmas, because who doesn't ask for a compost bin for their Christmas present? You don't? You don't have to get a compost bin for your Christmas present. Don't worry, buddy. We'll get you toys for Christmas, not compost bins. Didn't take too long. Got a hole, got a plastic bucket, and a hole. I'm going to backfill around that. This area there's some kind of divots into it, so I'm going to rake the dirt that I do have smooth. Might be a good idea to at least turn the soil over, take the grass and basically just flip it so that the dirt is up, and then put the cardboard on top. Which I think I'm going to do, as much as a pain as that it's probably going to be. That better? There was a few requests for a change of scenery And I think we were all both getting very, very warm in that. So I am now super unstylish, but functional. So I'm gonna continue this. I wonder if that's going to be a problem. I did run into a problem. See it, but there's water at the bottom of that. So apparently that's where the water table is around here, which makes sense because there's a canal that runs right there on the other side of the trees. Because that was like maybe 18 inches down, if that. I was thinking I was probably going to put some sort of a raised wall, maybe about 8 inches or so, all the way around. Just so that if we put stuff in it, like compost and leaves, stuff like that, it helps hold it. It helps to define where the space is. Makes it easier to cut the grass. So I think I'm definitely going to do that, because if I do that and bring this up just a little, then I only have a tiny bit of water at the bottom. And I don't know much about these yet. I still have to read more of the instructions. Basically, I got to the point of dig a hole and put it in. But I'm pretty sure 3 inches of standing water at the bottom probably isn't going to do a whole lot of good.
You're all set in your little chariot? All set in your little chariot, Fudgy? Well, have fun with Eddie.
Well, they're off for a bike ride. She's probably going to fall asleep in about 5 minutes. I did get this done. It's a good thing our maple tree has lots and lots of leaves. So I put these little stakes just so I can mark out somewhere where the poles are, because I ended up putting extra leaves on the outside edges here, mainly because the wind comes from that direction if it's going to come really hard. And the leaves, as I've seen for the last few days, are still wet enough, at least on the bottom, that they're heavy enough they stay. Wind is picking up. They're heavy enough that they stay, and then they kind of all lock together, so they don't really move. But if the wind gets up underneath the cardboard, it could throw the whole thing right off. And I'm actually happy that I raised up that base. It's dried out now. There's leaves in it, but it has dried out now, which is good. And considering the level of leaves and then having to put mushroom compost on top of that, I should be just at ground level, if not slightly below. So that works out in my favor. So these will just continue to decay. I said it's when we get the compost, mushroom compost, we'll top up all these beds, all the beds over there. These ones aren't too bad, but those ones didn't really get topped up that much last year. And when we first put them in 2 years ago, we filled the bottom, in order to not go through as much dirt or soil, we filled up the bottom of them with logs and leaves and branches, and basically as that decays, it's going to use up more and more stuff, or more and more soil. So it works out in our favor because you've got the composting in place basically underneath, and then we're able to have compost, room to put compost on top. Okay, so I'm going out to the workshop, and I'm going to get a few things done out here while they're gone because I might as well. And since I'm out here, I'll show you these adorable little mini mountains. So I had a special request. The large one here, okay, these hexagons are glued to the table. Okay, that's better. I managed to get those off the table. So the large one on the back here, this is the standard mountain shelf that we sell. And it is, I think, about 25 inches wide and 16 inches tall. But I had a request for someone who wanted it 16 inches by 10 inches tall. And I mean, I have to say, that's absolutely, absolutely adorable. Well, they still, I glued them up this morning. They still need to go through the sander. And they'll go with these guys, so I'll do that right now. And then I've got a few other things to do around here. But, I mean, these are just so cute. Still have to pack up this order. It's going to a store in British Columbia, which is pretty cool. But these are combinations that I don't have yet. These two here, and then there's some other ones, some other stuff that that store ordered that I don't have pictures of that color combination or pattern combination. So anytime I get those, I try to bring them inside, get pictures of them. It helps the store because then they get those pictures ahead of time and they can list their stuff. It also helps me out because then I get more pictures of more color variations without having to make a gazillion of these things. Anyways, that's it for me. I'll see you guys later. Bye!